Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. We back at it again. It's been some crazy stuff going on. Some wild stuff, some breaking news. A lot of great games happened over the past few days. It's gonna be crazy going on the next few days with games and stuff like that. Um, Coming up as well. Uh, but before we get into everything, before we get into all that, my name is Isaiah Austin. Welcome back to the IDA Case Video Production channel. If you like the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you like the videos, hit the like button on all the videos that came up so far. And please hit a bell notification to know when I post and upload new videos. So getting started, man, it's been great going in. Sad news, breaking news. Lou Holtz, the legendary head coach, coached South Carolina, Notre Dame, has about 249 wins between 6 schools. He passed away at 89. I believe he passed away today. It came out about an hour or two ago, almost about 50 minutes to an hour, 50 minutes to about an hour or so, I think. It came out ago. Passed away. Uh, he a legend, uh, um, flat out legendary. He's been a great coach forever. You know what I'm saying? So, since he's been coaching and stuff like that, so he's historical. He's a program builder. Uh, he's really great. A lot of people have a lot of great things to say about him. So, God rest his soul, man. And condolences to his family, all that good stuff too. Hopefully they're good, man. It's I know he's 89. That's a long life, but it's still sad though. You know what I'm saying? It's still definitely sad when your loved one passed away and stuff like that. It's still sad. No matter if you're 189, you know. Um, so hopefully I can make it there, man. 89, 100 years old, man. So hopefully I can get there. But God rest his soul, man, and shout out to his family. Condolences to them. The Patriots are releasing Diggs after just one season. They're releasing him. His season was up and down this year. There's a lot of stuff going on. I don't know if y'all heard. Some of y'all heard. He allegedly assaulted I think it was a woman who was a chef for him, cooking for him. I think the story was he gave her time off. I think told her not to come back for a week or so, or whatever the case may be. He didn't pay her for that week. She wanted to get paid. She was hounding him on getting paid. Alleged. This is all allegedly. It's coming from her. And she said Stephon Diggs, I think, hit her, abused her, stuff like that. Now I don't know if that's true or not. I think he said it didn't happen. Obviously, um, I mean, if you're off for a week, I'm not expecting you to get paid, but I don't know if I don't know how their contract is, and I don't know how their situation is. So I don't know. I know usually with most jobs, if you don't work, you don't get paid, basically. So I mean, I don't know how it went. Uh, you know, but overall, November is a trial date. That's another thing too, which I just was looking into and stuff. Y'all heard about Billups, the Joes, and the poker case and all different stuff. That case is, I believe, now in November. That's in November, happening in November and everything of that nature. Um, you know, I think November 2nd, this year. That's a little while because we're in March, so that's whiles away. Um, so that could be something crazy. The Chargers release Becton. They save 9.7 million against the cap. Uh, Dallas restructured, I believe. Uh, I'm trying to think. They restructured Dak's contract. I think Smith's contract. That's the tackle Terry Smith. I think Troy Smith. And also the Lamb too. They reworked the deal, so now they have 66 million in cap space now. They're trying to get as much so they can make some moves and stuff like that in the off season. Overall, that's some good stuff though. That's some of the breaking news coming up, things of that nature. College basketball has been fun. The NBA has been really good as well. Been really, really crazy. Been really, really good stuff coming out. Pretty excited about how the game's been going. It's been fun stuff. Been real fun stuff and everything. It's been fun. Been exciting and stuff like that. Um, So it's been great. Like Monday was really, really great for basketball. The Rockets were in a tight battle with the Wizards, man. They were in a tight battle. The Wizards gave the Rockets some trouble, man. I ain't gonna lie. They gave them a little trouble. Gave them a little scare. But they ended up winning 123 to 118. The Celtics blew out the Bucks. It was 108 to 81. Didn't have no issues there in Milwaukee. Defensively, they were great getting after it, pressure and giving some great stops. The Nuggets had a scare, big scare too. It was 128 to 125 on Monday. That was a big scare against the Jazz. And then the Clippers beat the Warriors 114 to 101. I'll tell you this though, with them it's kind of interesting because offensively, when Steph Curry's not playing for sure, they're better off not having Draymond Green on the floor and not playing than if he is playing because they're without Steph Curry from me watching, and a lot of people saying this too. Um, they are there was just worse with Draymond Green playing when Steph Curry's not playing. They might as well just they might as well play without Draymond Green if Steph Curry's going to be injured. I don't know why Draymond Green is this bad. He's been bad. People have allegedly said he's been bad, but he's been to me way worse this year than I've ever seen him play. In my opinion, that's the truth. Um, Now, on Tuesday, two has been pretty interesting. The Cavs beat the Pistons. The Cavs been looking good too, though. I know, like I think James Harden missed a game or two or so. Donovan Mitchell's had dealt with some injuries a little bit. Even Mobley missed some time overall. Speaking before even James Harden got there, but the Cavs have been really good though. They've been riding the ship. They're like 38 and 24. They've been real good. They beat a great Pistons team that's I believe still number one in the East and number one. Well, they're number one in the East. I think they're number one in the NBA still. And they've been great too. They've been fantastic. Cade is in that MVP discussion. He's been fantastic. Him and Jaylen Brown. Uh, he's been great. Been great. The Hornets, who's been really good for a little bit, putting in a lot of great work. Beat the Mavs, 117 to 90. Great defense right there from Charlotte, putting up points, doing a lot of great things. The Heat dominated scoring and defense against the Nets, 124 to 98. Beat them down bad. He's been inconsistent a little bit this year, up and down, but getting a win, they need wins like that for sure. The Knicks, after the bubble, they've been a little bit inconsistent too, but they have started riding the ship, getting some wins, key wins, and this is one of them, beating the Raptors 111 to 95. Great win. Spurs they've been fantastic from start to finish all year. 131 to 91 against them 76ers. The 76ers are trying to stay afloat, stay at that 6 seed, not playing a playing game, and have Joel Embiid, Paul George back, and everyone as healthy as possible, and so they can go in and make a playoff push. The Thunder ended up winning 116 to 108. That was a real good win for them. The Timberwolves beat the Grizzlies. They were hanging in there with the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies was pushing them, but they got it done. The Lakers ended up beating the Pelicans. They're on a 3-game win streak. Defensively, they gotten better, look better. Offensively, they can score with the best of them. When they're healthy and they can defend, okay, and that's including getting back in transition, they'll be fine, man. They'll be good. If they get that third, fourth seed, I'm telling you, they could really be in a good position, especially, you know, adding a few pieces. Ayton has to be better too. Ayton has to be able to run, be a rim runner better, and he needs to he needs to push the rim harder, man. In terms of like when he's setting the screen, he got to roll to the basket better. Hayes does that at a really great job, and he don't even play as many minutes as Ayton. So Ayton has to be better at that. He has to rebound better too. He has to box out better. So Ayton does have to be better. I think Luka competes on defense. I think the Lakers, they're a little inconsistent defensively. So like sometimes, like there's times where they're great defensively, like they are so good, and there are times where there's a little lapse, especially off the ball. Off the ball, they'll have some lapses, right? Especially with cuts. So they got to be careful of that. If they shore up those little things right there, and sometimes transition, if they shore up those things right there, they'll be fine. And I think they will. Especially just the consistency on defense. The offense, I think, will be fine. I know the offensive efficiency, it's up and down at times, but I think they'll be cool offensively. I ain't really worried about them there. The Suns end up beating the Kings. The Suns are having a great year. They've been really good. Dillon Brooks, I know he's been hurt. Devin Booker's been hurt, and they've still been good. They're still a 7 seed, so I think they've been really great. They're probably still going to make the playoffs regardless. But yeah, they've been great too. Um, Wednesday is going to be real good today, 7 p.m. Thunder versus Knicks. Then you got the Hornets versus Celtics. That could be a heck of a matchup too. Okay, 76ers versus Jazz today. Trailblazers versus Grizzlies. Um, that could be something good. Hawks and Bucks play, and then the Pacers and then the Clippers play as well. Thursday and Friday, I think it's gonna be good before we hit the weekend. Thursday Mavericks versus the Magic, Jazz versus Wizards, the Heat versus Nets. This is where it starts getting real crazy though. The Rockets and Warriors. Um, we're gonna Steph Curry could be out for the rest of the year. We gonna see. He's getting reevaluated. I think this week, if not next week. Yeah, he's going to get reevaluated. So we're going to see how it goes. But I can't. That game could be interested on Prime Video. The Raptors versus Timberwolves. That is going to be a good game. Another good game that's going to happen is Pistons versus the Spurs. That's going to be a fun game. The Bulls versus Suns. That could be a fun one. The Lakers and Nuggets. This is a big one for both teams. They both have 24 losses. And the Nuggets are 38. They have 38. The Lakers have 37. This could be big. Lakers already are up 1-0 in the series. They can try to get another win in Denver Thursday night on Prime Video. It's a big one for them. Big one for them on Thursday. And the Pelicans, they play the Kings on Thursday as well. Friday, too. The Mavericks play the Celtics. And the Heat play the Hornets. That could be a good game. That's an important game, not just for the Hornets, but the Heat as well. They're trying to get to the 6th seed. That's really the goal for them, is to get to that 6th seed, get out the play-in tournament. It's going to be tough, but they need as many wins as they can. The Trailblazers are trying to get as many wins as they can, too, for the play-in and all that type of stuff. The Rockets are trying to stay at that 3rd seed. They play each other right there. The Nuggets also play the Knicks on Friday. The Pelicans, that's going to be a great game, by the way. The Pelicans versus Suns. The Clippers versus Spurs, that could be a good one on ESPN. And then the Lakers and Pacers, they play against each other. Now, I'll tell you this, though. The Nuggets are in trouble because they play the Lakers the Thursday, right? But they also play the Knicks the following. Okay, that's going to be a fun one. But they are at home, so that's a good thing. So, they have a chance to get to altitude and stuff like that and see where it goes from there. The weekend's going to be great. We'll definitely talk about that, too. When that happens after the next few days of the NBA. That's going to be great stuff going on. I can't wait to talk about the weekend and then recap all that other stuff when it comes to the NBA too. That's going to be fun. Monday for college basketball has been great too. Morgan State and being Norfolk State. That was a good one. NC State got blown out by Duke at home. It was 93-64. NC State got destroyed. Okay. In the play-in for the Horizon League Championship, Cleveland State and the BNIU Indy 108-93. It was another close game with SC State versus Delaware State, too. That was a real close game. Stephen F. Austin ended up winning against Incarnate Word. They ended up winning. They were looking great. And then McNeese, they were great, too. They're both like 25-4, 25-5, 26-4, something like that. McNeese and Stephen F. Austin, they're both most likely going to make the tournament. But McNeese beat Nicholas. They beat them. So that was some good games. Iowa State ended up losing to Arizona. It was 73-57. Heck of a game right there from both teams. Arizona's been back on track after that. So that was a big time for them. Did a great job there. Getting back on track and everything like that. Tennessee ended up beating South Carolina on Tuesday. That was a heck of a game. They ended up blowing them out 78-59. And then Alabama got upsetted by Georgia 98-88. Big win by Georgia. Georgia definitely needed that win bad. Another upset win. TCU needed it bad. They ended up winning 73-65 against Texas Tech. Virginia got a scare too, though. Okay, Virginia and North Carolina got a scare. They both ended up winning. Okay, Virginia beat Wake Forest 75-70, and North Carolina beat Clemson 67-63. That's a close one. St. John's was a close upset alert as well. Ended up beating Georgetown by 3, 72-69. Miami, Ohio had to go back, get a big run to end up winning the game, 74-72 against Toledo. That was a heck of a game right there. Okay. And the Patriot League Championship first rounder, okay, Holy Cross ended up getting Lafayette 82-77. And then also Bucknell in that same first round Patriot League Championship first round. Bucknell ended up getting Army up in there. They got him up out of there. VCU ended up beating George Mason. Big win by VCU. They're on the bubble. You know what I'm saying? They're on that bubble. and Dayton's on that bubble as well. I'm not mistaken. They beat Richmond 65-60. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. UCF was real close. Was battling out a high scoring game with Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State in final overtime got a big win, 111-104. Big win. Seton Hall got a big win against Xavier, 77-68. Yeah, there's been great stuff going on. Great stuff going on. The MAC's been crazy too, with UMass beating Ohio, Ball State beating Western Michigan, Akron beating Central Michigan. Crazy stuff in the MAC. It's been crazy. Been wild stuff in the Mid American Conference. Besides Miami of Ohio, the MAC is trying to get at least 2 teams in there, maybe 3 total. In the tournament, that's the goal for them. Oklahoma beat Missouri. Texas A&M end up beating Kentucky. Kentucky's in trouble. They got to get wins. Florida destroyed Mississippi State 108-74. That's a monster game. A whooping of all whoopings. A whooping of all whoopings, man. Kansas State ended up beating West Virginia. And then Illinois ended up beating Oregon. Now, here's a crazy upset. Okay? Here's a crazy one. This is a crazy one. This was wild when I was seeing it and first heard of it and all that. Arizona State ended up upsetting Kansas by 10. Arizona State was at home, and they beat them 70-60. I could not believe it. I was in shock that they got that win against Kansas. Kansas has some wins being upset, but this one was pretty bad. For sure. They struggled, man. They struggled. Arizona State put a lot of work to them, did a lot of good stuff to them. So that was a heck of a game right there. Heck of a game. Heck of a game. You know what I'm saying? Peterson had 15 and 10. He struggled real bad shooting the ball. M. Diop for Arizona State, man, he put in work, and Odom, 19 and 23, respectively apiece. They really did a good job. Doing a good job with that. Vanderbilt almost got upset. They ended up winning in overtime against Ole Miss, 89-86. BYU lost again. They got blown out this time though. It was 90-68. I'm shocked. BYU's been struggling bad the last few games. Been really having a tough time. San Diego State beat Boise State. San Diego State is on the bubble too, along with Boise State. That was a big win for Boise State at home. Big win on Tuesday. Big win. Louisville beat Syracuse. Virginia Tech beat Boston College. Okay, Wyoming beat Nevada. Auburn beat LSU. Auburn needed that win bad. And UCLA got a big win against Nebraska. Blew them out 72-52. Butt whooping, respectfully speaking. UNLV beat Utah State. Utah State's been great this year. UNLV got a big win right there too. Big win. Got a big win. Okay. Wednesday is going to be really, really, really crazy. There's some games that ended up coming on. The ASUN championship game, first rounder, happened today. Bellarmine ended up winning against Jacksonville 82-79 that first round. FGCU, if y'all remember, they had upset win a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, a little while ago. And when they were in the NCAA tournament, they were in the first round in the ASUN championship. They beat North Alabama. Okay. Now today, later on, 6 p.m. a little bit, James Madison plays Louisiana. And then Craig, that's in the Sun Belt Championship second round. Butler plays Creighton as well. Minnesota, they play Indiana. Okay, Arkansas plays Texas. That's going to be a fun one. And then another fun one is going to be SMU and Miami. That's going to be a great game, too. Those two games are going to be fun entertainment. In the OVC Championship first rounder at 7 p.m. is going to be East Illinois versus SIUE. And then Stony Hill and Moyne. They play in the Northeast Conference Tournament, that quarterfinal. FDU plays in the quarterfinal of the Northeast Conference Tournament today against Mercehurst. Also in that conference tournament, Northeast, Connecticut and Wagner play against each other. Chicago State and Long Island, they play against each other. In the quarterfinal Northeast Conference Tournament. In the Horizon League Championship, first round, North Kentucky plays Oakland. A lot of big games. Horizon League Championship game, Detroit Mercer plays Milwaukee. Youngstown, they play Robert Morris. Robert Morris had big upset wins in the tournament before too. NCAA tournament in the Horizon League Championship first round. That's when they play. Wright State plays Cleveland State in that Horizon League Championship. St. Bonaventure plays George Washington as well. Um, St. Joseph plays Davidson as well. That could be a big one for the tournament, trying to win and get a tournament spot for themselves and stuff like that. California plays Georgia Tech. California needs that win really, really bad. In the championship first round, Big South, Gardner Webb, who only has 3 wins this year, is playing SC Upstate. West Georgia and North Florida play against each other in the ASUN championship first round. Ohio State plays Penn State. Ohio State need this win bad. It's on Peacock. They need it. They got to get this win. They got to go into Indiana 19-11 if they can. St. Louis is 26-3. They've had a historically amazing year. They play Loyola Chicago. Loyola Chicago made a big tournament run. I think they were in the Final Four or something like that. Elite Eight a few years ago. That's a big one. Oral Roberts plays Kansas City. Summit League Championship first round. Okay, Maryland plays Wisconsin. Wisconsin needs that win bad as well. I remember they lost to Ohio State as well, so they on the bubble. They need that win. Purdue plays Northwestern. Old Dominion plays Georgia Southern in the Sun Belt Championship second round. Houston, they play Baylor. And then Florida State plays Pitt. These are big games coming up. Stanford needs this win. They're on the bubble and they play against Notre Dame. There's a lot of games coming on Wednesday. It's gonna be crazy. In Colorado State, they play New Mexico. That's a big game for both of them. USC needs this win against Washington. Also, they're 18-11. They need that win bad. They need that win really, really bad, and they need it really, really, really out of control bad too. In the first round of the MVC tournament on Thursday is gonna be Drake and S. Illinois, and then the South Belt, the MACC Championship first round. It's gonna be Sacred Heart and Iona, and then the Summit League Championship quarterfinal. North Dakota State's gonna be waiting, and they play in that quarterfinal. They're 24-7. They've been great this year. Overall speaking, they've been great. And then in the Patriot League Championship quarterfinal is Lehigh versus Holy Cross, and then Loyola Mid versus Colgate. They play in that Patriot League Championship quarterfinal as well. Another quarterfinal game in that league is American and Boston U playing against each other. Another one is Navy balling out 25-6 playing against Bucknell in that quarterfinal. Right, Bucknell's been struggling. In the MVC tournament, Valparaiso and Indiana State, they play against each other. Tulane and Temple play against each other. Tulsa's 23-6. They've been fantastic as well. Been balling. They play against East Carolina. That's a big game for them. Liberty's been great, 24-5, playing against Louisiana Tech, who's 16-13. Michigan plays Iowa. That's gonna be a big game on Peacock, real big game. Michigan State plays the Rutgers as well, and Valley State, Jackson State play against each other. There's some great games there too, as well. Some wild games coming on. It's gonna be unbelievable. Like the West Coast Conference Tournament first round, Portland and Pepperdine play against each other. South Florida and Memphis play against each other. South Florida's 21-8. I think they won the league. St. Thomas and South Dakota State play against each other. St. Thomas is 23-8. That's in the Summit League Championship quarterfinal. Okay, big game in the quarterfinal in there. West Coast Conference Tournament first round. LMU versus San Diego. And then Hawaii plays UC Riverside. Hawaii's 21-7. They've been good too. They've been real good too. They've been really good. High Point and Belmont. High Point is in the Big South Championship. They're waiting in the quarterfinal on Friday. And also Belmont, they're 26-5. They're waiting in their MVC tournament quarterfinal on Friday. They've both been great. Both been fantastic. Most likely going to make the tournament. You got to be careful. That could be upset city alert. Teams got to watch out for those two teams right there. Okay? In the ASUN Championship quarterfinal, it's going to be Central, I think, Arkansas versus Bellarmine. I think that's how you pronounce it. 13-18. In the CAA Championship first round, NC A&T is 11-18 versus North Eastern. Um, Charleston South is playing Winthrop in the Big South Championship quarterfinal. And then FGCU is going against Lipscomb in the ASNU Championship quarterfinal on Friday. And UIC versus Murray State in the MVC tournament quarterfinal. And then the SoCon Championship first round, it's going to be Chattanooga versus Citadel. You know what I mean? Austin P is going to be waiting in the ASUN Championship quarterfinal for their next opponent. They're 21-8. Texas State is going to be waiting the Sun Belt Championship, the fourth round. And Mermick is waiting in the MAAC Championship quarterfinal. The Big South Championship quarterfinal is going to be UNC Asheville versus Longwood. Akron 25-5. They're trying to be that next team behind Miami, Ohio. They're playing in Northern Illinois on Friday. That's going to be a good game. And the Summit League Championship quarterfinals will be South Dakota and Omaha playing against each other. Bradley's 20-11. They're going to be 20-11. They're going to be playing in the MVC tournament quarterfinal. They're waiting on their opponent. VCU and Dayton are in a big game against each other. Kent State is trying to be another team. They're 22-8 versus Western Michigan in the MAC. They need wins too. They need to make sure they win. And them and Akron need to make sure they're in the Final Four. And no matter if they win or lose, they need to make sure they're in the Final Four to have a chance. Columbia plays Harvard. They're both 16-11. Queens in the ASUN Championship quarterfinal. They're waiting on their opponent. Tennessee State, who's 21-9, they're waiting for their opponent in the AVC semifinal. UCF is 20-9 versus West Virginia, 17-13. They play against each other in the Sun Belt Championship fourth round. Okay, South Alabama is waiting for their opponent, 21-10. St. Peter's is waiting for their opponent, 17-11 in the MAAC Championship quarterfinal. Okay, also in the Big South Championship quarterfinal is Presbyterian. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Versus Ralford. They play in that quarterfinal. Seton Hall, they play against St. John's. St. John's is 24-6. They've been cooking. And Seton Hall is 20-10. Now, Miami of Ohio is playing against Ohio. They are 30-0. Pretty exciting stuff. And then the West Coast Conference Tournament. Okay, Washington State is waiting in the second round. And then you got Denver versus North Dakota in the Summit League Championship quarterfinal. And then Illinois State, who's 20-11, waiting in their matchup for MVC tournament quarterfinal. UNLV is playing San Diego State. Big game for San Diego State. And then Morehead State is 19-12. They're waiting in the AVC Championship quarterfinal. Seattle U is waiting in the West Coast Conference Tournament second round as well. That's at 11:30. There's going to be some magical games coming on. A lot of games coming on Wednesday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, we definitely going to talk about as well. Along with NBA games and stuff like that. We're going to talk about all of that and recap some games and all that type of stuff. There's going to probably be videos recapping some of the games that happened, Wednesday and then Thursday and then Friday, go into it in depth, talk about different things, obviously, as well, breaking news and stuff like that. Can't wait. We're going to be cooking on this channel, man. We're going to be fun. I appreciate everybody. Again, like the videos if you do. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification when you know when I post and upload new videos. I appreciate y'all. Love the support. Love y'all. Peace.